Charles Hoskinson took some time yesterday to talk about this big event coming up for Cardano. It's been dubbed one of the most important events in Cardano's 8-year history. And why this is so important is it's a real opportunity to showcase the developments that we've had within the Cardano ecosystem, but it's also an opportunity to tackle some of the issues currently holding us back from bigger, broader adoption. And I do want to talk about that in this video with you guys, bring you up to speed. So if you are new or haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below, hit that bell. It's free to do. It'll keep you updated anytime there's new content live here on the channel. Now, here's the thing. With these developments that have happened and taken place within the Cardano ecosystem, they're game-changing stuff, 100%. This type of interoperability, this type of use of Cardano consensus with Midnight and partner chains, the scalability with Hydra and Laos, I mean, you don't see that anywhere else in this industry, and you don't see this push for development. And that's a really big thing. It's something that we can get excited about. But is it the thing that sells seats, right? And the answer is not right now. People care less about development because, again, like we talked about, we've been in this speculative era, and we've been less in this performance and actual use case driven era. We're trying to get to that point, and this stuff is essentially preparation for that. And what we actually have is huge growth coming to the crypto ecosystem. In fact, Charles Hoskinson said the next $1 trillion of growth is something that Cardano could in fact capture, but there are some things that do need to be addressed. Now, one of the most important events in Cardano's 8-year history is actually this event taking place in Vegas on August 6th through the 10th. This is actually Rare Evo. For those that aren't familiar, it's a multi-chain conference. It's where a lot of these chains come out, demonstrate what they're doing. You see a lot of projects out there as well. I unfortunately will not be able to attend. I have some stuff going on during that time, but it's an opportunity to showcase some of the things that Cardano has going on. Now, first of all, I did want to mention just something he talked about yesterday, and that was that the single biggest issue that we're missing is a competent foundation and executive authority to push these narratives into the mindset of the space. And he's referencing, Laos and Midnight and Bitcoin DeFi and Hydra, right? And what he said is, so many people push for him to step up and represent the entire ecosystem. He said he's not responsible for their current state, addressing the Cardano Foundation. He said the Swiss government is. They liquidated the majority of the board and replaced it with the current set. And basically what he's referencing, for those that aren't familiar, is there's been this ongoing tiff, we'll call it, between the Cardano Foundation and Charles Hoskinson and the community. And there are questions about, whether, one, they have our best interest in heart, or two, if they actually even have the same vision for the Cardano blockchain that the community does. So it's a question of, is there this separation, or will this in fact be coming back together and aligning on the same path to make Cardano what it can be, which is great, right? He said, at this conference, we do in fact need to discuss how to correct these lingering governance issues, update the constitution to add delegated executive authority, get a sovereign wealth fund started, and showcase all the remarkable innovation. All right. So those are some things that do in fact need to be addressed and will in fact be talked about at this conference. And again, it's a huge opportunity for Cardano to really get itself out there once again. We can only rely on organic growth so much because so many people in the space are just walking around, la, 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 la. They don't really care, right? But when you see what things can do, that's where minds start to change just a little bit. You attract projects to grow with you, with Cardano. In fact, what you may in fact see is other chains talking to Cardano about becoming a partner chain, right? Just some thoughts there, right? Now, what Patrick Tobler, founder of NFT infrastructure firm NMKO, said is Cardano needs a narrative. And there's currently one narrative that can actually catch on. That's Bitcoin layer 2. There's only one man that has the power to push a new narrative, Charles. So the best anyone in the ecosystem can do is support the narrative. And I agree. I mean, if you're talking about the interest in Cardano currently, how do you bring people to Cardano? You latch onto the interest in Bitcoin right now. You take advantage of it while it's hot, and Bitcoin is hot. I think we can all agree with that, right? You see all these enterprises adding Bitcoin. You see governments launching crypto reserves to do that. You see, institutions just buying left and right. This is the time to build something that can grow with Bitcoin via Cardano, right? That's why Cardano Consensus can really tap into Bitcoin L2 and become a huge. It can get into a huge position of liquidity. I don't want to call it liquidity grabbing, but you guys get the point. There can be a lot of new development that can take place with Cardano just from the interest in Bitcoin alone. And I think that that's something that, some people have said it's just going to fail, blah, 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 blah. And I don't think there's enough of a track record of failure from Cardano to just throw that crap out there and see if it sticks. I mean, some people might reference, Africa. Africa was kind of a new developmental thing that nobody else was doing. But if you haven't noticed, we have that same thing going on with Argentina. It sounds like it's going a lot better. So here's the thing. We have had an opportunity to learn from some of the past failures. We've seen some of the biggest developments take place in our history so far. We're on the verge of being the most scalable blockchain in history, vertically and horizontally. We're on the verge of having pretty big, insane adoption when it comes to partner chains. We still have perfect uptime. We have perfect security. We are ready and set to go, and all we just need is kind of that push over the hump, if that makes sense. So I'm very excited to see what comes of this conference. Do I think it's one of the most important events in Cardano's 8-year history? Maybe, maybe not. I would argue that getting smart contracts in the first place was a big deal. I would say that, bringing governance to the Cardano blockchain was a pretty big deal. But this is a real opportunity to, again, showcase how all these developments can truly change this industry. And I want to hear your thoughts on this. So I appreciate you guys as always. I hope you enjoyed the video. Hopefully I didn't ramble too much in there, but have a great day. Show your love below. Catch you guys in the next one. Take care.